Good morning, YouTubers. Tsquare with Tsquare Talk. So, got a kind of trial thing today. We're going to talk a little bit about eggs. With everything going on, one of the things that people have been talking about in the prepper community is basically what if power outages start happening, rolling blackouts, everybody quarantined to their house, and then just start seeing a lot more power outages. So I've been experimenting a little bit. I've been leaving my eggs out for a little while after a subscriber had told me that the USA is like the only country in the world that refrigerates their eggs, washes their eggs. So, as weird as it sounds, I've decided to put it to the test. And I've got some eggs out that I've had out for a month now. So, let's take a look at them. So, these eggs right here, I'm hoping I don't get sick and die. We're going to see what happens. These eggs right here have been sitting on my counter for 1 month now. I have eaten a couple each week and everything was fine. The most important thing that I was told is make sure the eggs don't float. So you know a bad egg right off the bat. If you put it in water and it floats, then that's a bad egg. And if it still sinks, then you're still good to eat it. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm pretty excited because a month is a long time. I've never been in a situation where I haven't had power for a whole month. I have been in a situation where the entire state was pretty much in a blackout for 3 weeks, which was a pretty extreme circumstance up in Maine, where we had a big ice storm. But with that being said, let's get some of these in water and we'll take a look at them. So now I just put some in water. Now keep in mind these are not washed eggs. So these eggs basically came out of my chicken coop and I basically just left them on the counter for a month, simulating if I didn't have power. So now I put them all in water and there is one egg. As you can see, none of them are floating except for one. So I shouldn't say none. One of them is floating. We'll take a look at the side view. You can see this one right here is floating above all the rest. So that brought me to questions. Well, how did one go bad and none of the other ones? As I looked really close on this egg, I was like, well, what made this egg different? See that light crack right there? I shouldn't say light crack. It's a pretty good sized crack that goes through. Never really noticed early on. Had I kept that refrigerated, I might have been fine and not noticed it. I didn't really look at these eggs real close when I pulled them out. When I wash my eggs, I do inspect my eggs. However, this one I would not recommend eating because it did float. It's probably going to smell horrible. But the other ones, I'm going to get them washed off and I'm going to cook some breakfast. So just got them all washed off, cleaned up. I didn't do every egg that I had because I kind of want to put this as a test. If nothing bad happens, basically I'm going to see again in 2 months how this plays out. How long does it take for an egg to really go bad if you don't refrigerate them and you don't wash them? Now, there is a protective layer over the egg. Therefore, as long as you don't wash that layer off, I mean, it makes sense. But there again, I don't recommend you try this unless you're taking your own risk if you try this, because I don't even know what's going to happen. So it's pretty exciting, though, to try. I'm curious how they're going to taste. And your sense of taste, your sense of smell, the way it looks, those are all clues that we have, I believe, to kind of tell what's going on. Because I've already had people tell me, you are nuts, dude, to leave an egg out for a whole month and then decide to eat it. We're going to see what happens. So let's get these broken up, put them in the frying pan, see how they taste. So I did just break open the first egg. Everything looks the same as it did before. Let's go ahead and get it in the frying pan. I trust it. I mean, I can tell it's a little bit different than a fresh egg, but it doesn't look much different than a store-bought egg. In fact, it still looks really bright in the middle instead of like a yellowish. It still has its more orange tint, so I think it's fine. I did just put some salt, some pepper, fresh ground chili peppers, and see how it comes out. So So there it is. There is what it looks like. So far, everything seems identical. Now I'm going to taste test it and see how it comes out. Well, that tasted great, actually. I did mine in extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and some fresh ground chili peppers. So I enjoyed it. It's been a whole month. I'm thinking now, no matter what happens, if you've got chickens, you're going to be fine. You'll have eggs, and not much is going to stop. So I'm looking for other great ideas. If anybody has any other ideas, go ahead and leave me some comments, and let me know what you guys think. Because everybody says, oh, you have to have your eggs refrigerated. Now, if you're buying them at a grocery store and they've been refrigerated, you have to keep them refrigerated, unfortunately, because they have been washed. But if you did not refrigerate your eggs, they've never been refrigerated, then you're probably pretty good. So I think, in my opinion, but this is just my opinion. So I will see you guys again. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, guys.